No, the first time that that I encountered electronic music, I would have to say, was hearing a song called Popcorn, which used to be on the Lottery in Detroit. The song that is really commercial and gimmicky. And then after that, I didn't hear it, but I saw a album sleeve at the local library, which was quite interesting. It was big modular synthesizers with a photo of some guy with a white wig on, and that was switched on Bach. So that was the first time that I really became conscious that there was something that interests me that had all these big knobs and you know, whatever. And the first time that I actually touched a keyboard or had a chance to encounter synthesizers was at my cousin Doug's house. He had done a record and got all these synthesizers and stuff. So that was my opportunity to actually voice out playing Axel F on the synthesizer. Well, I guess my first experience with kind of doing production composition of some sort was when I used to use 2 tape decks and try to make these mixtapes, but to take songs from the radio and just, you know, keep recording them back and forth. But I took a class, an electronic music class, when I was about 18, and that was the first time I actually got a chance to touch actual recording equipment. The music from Detroit has always been really inspirational to me, and it influenced me quite a lot. Whether it was Motown or Cybertron, Number Names, Model 500, that kind of stuff. It really intrigued me that, you know, this music, which I, you know, felt sounded futuristic, would actually make it to the radio, whether it was on mix shows or in the middle of the afternoon. All that kind of stuff was really quite amazing and quite influential in what I was doing, as well as all the Detroit things that were influenced and that in turn ended up influencing a lot of newer European music at the time. That was a great thing too, because it always seemed like the music it would come to us and then we freak it out and then send it back, and then they freak it out and then turn it into something else, and then we hear it and then turn it into something else, and it was a really nice global collaboration of some sort. The first time that I made a remix professionally was along with Derek May, and that was Strings of Life '89. My career as a remixer started and progressed by going with the trend of recreating what a remix was. The idea of a remix is to take a song and maybe make it more danceable or for a different audience. So, for instance, taking a song that might have the potential of being a good club track and then making it into a better club track. You know, making another version, but it was still the same music. But when I started, the idea of a remix became making a new song from the remix. So it's maybe just taking certain elements like a vocal and then recomposing everything around it. And I think that's what inevitably forged my ideas to how I present a remix now, because I take a remix as it being part of me, almost an original composition in comparison to it just being a collaboration of sorts from someone else. So, you know, it's part of me. You know, now for me, doing a remix isn't that much different than making an original composition, because the same amount of myself goes into it as does an original composition. When I'm asked to do a remix, I try to weigh out the value of doing a mix, and I get asked to do a lot of mixes. There's the creative idea that can come from it initially, whether I like the music, what I think in the end the music will become, if it can become part of my own thing. I usually pick the music because I like it. The idea of putting together music that I've done, whether in remixes as well as original material, is that I pick not only what I feel is my strongest points, but what is going to actually work for the listener. And I pick music that I think that people know and that people need to know. Of course, what best represents me as an artist and as a remixer. But with picking music to go on a compilation, I can't only think about myself, but to think about the listener and what the listener is going to enjoy, and I have to mix it in a way that I feel when it comes out of my studio that it's going to be the best product that I can do, and that the people who are listening can appreciate it in the best way, whether they're a fan or whether they're totally ignorant and oblivious to what I've done over the time. When they hear it, it should say, okay, yeah, that's interesting, you know, that's cool. And then they can zone out and they can come back in when they hear something else that they like. And it's like doing a performance of all of the songs that I love. Interzone Orchestra, when I did the jazz version of Buggin' the Bass Bin with Rodney Whitaker and Francisco Mora, it opened up so many creative doors for me to expand it into using Craig Taborn on keyboards, for using violin. It really gave me the opportunity to you know, to creatively go out of my way to do some things that I felt that were either interesting or that I always wanted to try to do.